Well, honey, Mercury is indeed in retrograde. And so, had we not had such a performance this morning, then I would have waited until after Mercury goes out of even her shadow period to put this up. But I wanted to help everybody to get a better clarity. So the last thing that I said that I believe you all heard was that I had to really understand and examine my life and try to wrap my head around the fact that as an older woman, I was being physically abused. It was crazy to me. And so Spirit broke that thing down and said domestic violence begins within. If you are in love with yourself and you are loving on you and towards you, you don't attract people to you who want to abuse you. You attract people to you by the way you teach people how to treat you. I said, okay. I don't like it, but I get it. Because you see, I had been in victim mentality. Look what this person did to me. Look how this person damaged me. Look how this person who's supposed to be a healer harmed me. That is victim mentality. Survivor mentality says, hold on, let me analyze this situation, because see, this abuser did not force themselves on me. I allowed this abuser into my life in this domestic violence situation. You see, there is a difference between domestic violence, child abuse, child molestation, and rape. And so the young lady that was cussing me out mixed all of them together and then said that I was slut shaming. I was blaming the victim. Well, if you're still in victim mentality and you will not make the conversion over to being a survivor, then you're going to feel that way. Now, rape, molestation, and child abuse are separate from domestic violence. For anybody that didn't get that, for anybody that missed the definition of all four of those, domestic violence in the correct context of what I was talking about, because see, that's my Instagram page. Okay? So when you come over to my Instagram page, you cannot regulate what I put on my Instagram page. But in the spirit of compassion, I'm making this so that help can be reached. Because see, that was a cry for help. That was a cry for help. So, domestic violence, when you allow a man into your life and that man makes the choice to abuse you, when you allow as a brother a woman into your life and that woman makes the choice to abuse you, and you allow that person to abuse you, that's a choice. That is a choice. The very first time that I was talked to abusively, the very first time I saw him go off on his mama, go off on his grandmama, I had the choice to say no. No, I'm not going to live in this manner. And I did not. I did not. The very first time I experienced spiritual abuse and was not allowed to go to my place of worship. I had the choice to say, no, I will not accept this. But I didn't. The very first time that mind games started being played concerning polygamy with me, and I did not say, oh, no, you done switched up the game, bruh. I then allowed it, because you see, what you allow will continue. What you allow will continue. And when you don't say no, you are saying, I accept. I'm a park so that this thing don't keep going off. When you don't say no, you say, I accept. The very first time he felt comfortable enough to put his hands on me, and I didn't put a bullet in his ass, I said, that is okay. And so in me not saying no, and in me not removing my presence from the equation, I said yes. And so I was forced to then look at how I was treating myself. How was I treating myself at the time? I was not in love with me. The domestic violence, I'm the domestic. This vessel is the domestic. That domestic violence began inside of me. And so I attracted to me what I was already doing to me. I looked at how I talked to myself, my negative self-talk. I looked at what that looked like. And so I said, wow, he feels like it's okay to talk to me like that, because that's how I talk to me. I looked at how I was taking care of my body. Yeah, I was losing weight, but my self-esteem was the very lowest that it was. I got down to 130 pounds, and my self-esteem was lower than it was when I was 300 pounds. And so by my self-esteem being that low, I attracted someone else with low self-esteem who had no problems continuing the pattern of self-abuse that I had already started. And so I know that my statement has offended some people. I get it. And that's the beauty of social media. If you don't like it and you don't approve of the message, baby, it's billions of people out there, and you can go watch their videos. But when you sit and you think about it, when you sit, if you've been in domestic violence and you look at where you were, very few women with very high self-esteem are being or are a part of something that is domestically abusive, because you won't stand for it. You won't tolerate it. No. Time number one, oh no, you didn't, and you're out. Bottom line. Bottom line. So no, it doesn't feel good. No, it's not a cheery word. But that's not what my assignment is while I'm here. This is why I'm up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning teaching women, so that we don't continue to place ourselves in positions where we are victims. So we don't have stuff we have to be survivors from, because we nip that thing in the bud. We don't send out "it's okay to abuse me" vibes. We don't send that out. No. Now, a joker tried to step to me. You can't even really halfway raise your voice at me now. And it has nothing to do with my NRA certification. It has everything to do with I've fallen in love with Queen Neat. And you just not going to even talk to me any old kind of way. Oh, no, you're not? No. And I take it? No. No. And so that experience helped me to get to that place. So Queen Neat, what do you mean by domestic violence begins within? Just what I said. I'm a real straight shot. I don't mince words. I say exactly what I meant. There's no way to misunderstand that. No way to misunderstand that. Child abuse is not what I'm talking about. Rape is not what I'm talking about. Molestation is not what I'm talking about. Stop trying to read into what I said. What did it say? Domestic violence begins within, period. Real simple. Now, there is deeper teaching when it goes to rape, when it goes to molestation, when it comes to child abuse. See, I am a victim of child abuse. So, I get it. I still have the scars from child abuse. Hear me when I tell you. So I counsel people one-on-one when it comes to child abuse. I counsel people one-on-one when it comes to rape. I counsel people one-on-one when it comes to molestation. I don't put that information out publicly because everybody is in different places publicly. And I'm responsible for what I say. But domestic violence begins within. It simply does. That's not too hard of a word for you to hear. That is a self-check mechanism. It's a self-check mechanism. Because if you attracted one joker into your life because of where your self-esteem was and where your vibration is, and you finally got him out, beloved, you know what? You have now set yourself up for the next one. If you haven't dealt with you. If you haven't dealt with the domestic violence within you. I don't want to see you repeat that cycle. On October 5th, 2013, when I got in my truck and I drove and I drove and I drove, it took 8 months for me to get my mind back. It took 6 months for me to feel safe enough to be in a house by myself. I'd never really lived with other people, but I had to seek reference and stay with people because I was scared. Because that abusive relationship had messed my mind up. I didn't even want to leave my house or the people's house I was staying at. I didn't want to drive my car. I stayed in a place of shame. I don't want to see any sister, any brother. Because see, there are some sisters that are some kind of nasty and they like to beat on men. You put yourself in a real compromised place when you feel like you bad enough to put your hands on a man. I have 4 brothers, all raised not to touch women abusively. But I got 4 grown behind brothers. What you've got to know is you can keep pushing a 2-balled grown behind man and keep pushing him and keep pushing him and keep pushing him. And baby, one day that joker will push back. Yeah. Keep your hands off of men unless you're loving on them. Brothers, keep your hands. If you've got to beat her, let her go. Drop her back off at her mama's house. Take her back wherever you got her from. Because you can't afford the karma that you are sowing into your own life. You can't afford it. And if you're doing it in front of your children, you definitely can't afford that. Because what you're showing your daughters is, this is how a man shows you love. What you're showing your sons is, this is the way you control your women. And then that blood is on your hands. Oftentimes it comes back as prostate cancer. A lot of times, since you are affecting your DNA with that dysfunction, it comes back as blood cancers. These are things you do as yourself. Many a time it comes back as erectile dysfunction, because since you used your penis to bring that child here and you are mishandling that child, then we're going to take away your creative mechanism because you don't know what to do with it. I had to delete some of the defensive comments that my students put up because they protect me. My students love me. Right now, I have almost 100 students between my 3 classes. So you can't just say anything to me or cuss at me, because my students don't cuss at me. And so I had to delete some of my students' comments because she's in pain. So I'm not offended by her. And if you're on here, sweetie, I'm not mad at you because you cussed at me. I know you're hurting. I've had better people than you cuss at me. So I'm good with it. I understand. And if you call me and you need counseling, and I know that you're a Reiki practitioner and all of that, and that scares me. That's why I decided to go ahead and do this video. Because, see, sweetie, if you are a Reiki practitioner, you're practicing this Kemetic Reiki, this is the problem. In you doing that, every time you lay your hands on people, you are transferring your dysfunction and your unforgiveness onto the people that you claim you're supposed to be trying to help. And that's dangerous. So just from the comments that I left up, people can see, and I've gotten so many inboxes of people being angry with you. I don't want anybody angry with you. But I understand that you hurt. I understand that you've been damaged. I get it. And this is what I do all day, every day, is help my sisters heal. I've been where you are. I've been where you are. I've been molested. I've been raped. I've had the bitterness from it. I get it. But you have to make the transition from victim to survivor. And that's part of the work that I've been commissioned to do. That's what I do. So, my students, I love you. I thank you for protecting your queen. I thank you for the love that you've shown. Don't be offended if I deleted your comments, because I get it. But see, this is the reason that I see at the level that I do, because I look way past people's actions and I deal with them based on their intentions. And so by me saying domestic violence began within, that took away the safety blanket of being a victim. It took away the safety blanket. And to think I was so sick this morning, and I mean I was sick this morning. I had to go and do a movie a couple of hours ago, and I was trying to get out of that, and I couldn't. But I did it, and I was so glad, because that turned out to be a blessing, and now I'm getting ready to go and record Sacred Words. And what an excellent, see, whenever I'm teaching a portal or a gateway to my students, I'm always challenged in that portal or gateway. So we're in the middle of Sacred Words, and then I get cussed out. So it's cool. I get it. I love it. I've had so many people that have dropped out of the course come to me because we're doing sacred relationships and sacred union with my young ladies that are graduating in October. And they're having problems with their marriages, with their families and everything. And they're saying, why am I still going through the exact same challenges as though I'm still in the course? I left the course. I gave up on it. And I told them, beloved, you asked the universe. You called that healing energy to you. They don't hear negation. They don't hear I dropped out. They don't hear it was too hard. They don't hear I didn't want to be accountable. So every time we go through a portal, you go through that portal too, baby. But you just don't have the protection that your sisters do because they stuck it out. They decided it was okay to cry. They decided, ooh, I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't like being exposed like this. But I need it because it's what I called to myself. So I'm so excited. We have about 80 women in the UK that are interested in walking this walk and becoming sacred medicine women. And so we're going to start with them in June. I don't know that I'm going to do another U.S. class. Not this year. I really may not. Because I've got my hands full with the 100 women that I'm working with right now. I really, really do. And I'm so blessed to have amazing women who are saying, Queen, listen. Listen. I had 15 women from my September 17th class say, you know what, Queen? I've been in this thing for 7 months, and for 7 months I have been bullshitting. Can I please start over again with the new class that started in April? Because I don't want to cheat myself. I've been halfway doing my homework. I've been halfway doing the healing work you've been giving me. I've been halfway doing the tools. I've been halfway, but I deserve the best of everything. Can I have the chance to start over again? And I did a reading on each of them, and each of them that I got an approval with got moved over. And then I still have 30 women from the original class. And they're on track to graduate in the Bahamas in October. And it means everything to me because this stuff ain't easy. This stuff hurts. When you're going from gateway, portal to portal, gateway to gateway, and you're looking at yourself, and you look at how you've cheated yourself, it doesn't feel good, and everybody can't do it. But when you decide, I love me enough, I am worth it, Queen, teach me how to fall in love with me, it takes it to a whole nother level. So, beloved, I'm not angry with you. I really am not. If you need me, I'm here. I haven't blocked you, so if you need to say anything else on Instagram, it's fine. But I wanted to come on here since you did your performance, which was a cry for help publicly. I wanted to just deal with this publicly because there were other people that were offended, but they were respectful in getting an explanation. And then when I explained it, one sister was like, thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. That's it. So see, there is a way. I'm not just some chick that slapped Queen in front of my name. No. The elders of the community came together and had a renaming ceremony for me that 75 people attended. So there's a charge on my life. There's a charge on my life. I'm not just some chick, so you can't handle me like you talk to your mama or you talk to just some chick in the street, because that's not who I am. So you will not disrespect my anointing. It won't happen. So I love all of you all. Very shortly, I'm getting ready to teach a class and a half to my winter 2017 ladies. We're going to be talking about sacred words, And we're going to clean up some of the things that we messed up when we were younger. From 18 up. We already dealt with 1 to 18. From 18 up. Because a lot of these things we have brought on ourselves. So it's not to beat us up. It's so that we can stop damaging ourselves. We can't stop or control what other people do. But baby, I can control what I do to me. No. And see, part of the blessing and the curse of the women that I attract, I don't attract any ugly women. I have been teaching this work since May 14th of 2014. I've never ever had an ugly woman that was in my course. Not one. This is the problem when I don't have nothing but pretty women in my course. Pretty women oftentimes are used to getting away with things. Don't nobody check a pretty woman? So then, Queen Nita, how you gonna check me? I'm pretty. I don't care nothing about your pretty, baby, because I'm pretty too. I'm pretty too. Sometimes, and one of my greatest teachers taught me this, he said, sometimes you are given a high level of physical beauty because you're so ugly on the inside. So after I rolled my neck and my eyes at him, I couldn't do nothing but acknowledge that he was right. And so I get that with my students. I love y'all with your little pretty selves. And so I want to make you or help you to develop being as beautiful inside as every one of you all is outside. I'm so scared about when we go to the Bahamas. I don't know if them little folk are going to be able to take it. All of us just walking around in white, just gorgeous. So I'm going to have some of my bodyguards out there to keep y'all. Not for the people, for y'all. So I love you. Our website is www.sacredmedicinewoman.com. www.sacredmedicinewoman.com. I'm here for you if you need me. This isn't just for the sister who had the Mercury retrograde moment, but it's for anybody who knows that they are hurting, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in the US. We will be starting Sacred Medicine Woman Canada and Sacred Medicine Woman Caribbean very, very soon. And I'm very excited. I understand even the more now why I've spent 18 years as a travel agent and owning a travel agency for 13 years. I get all of it. All of it makes sense. Your gift makes room for you. I had no idea I was going to be doing this. I was content owning my agency. And the universe said, no, we got some other stuff we need you to do. You'll still do that, but we got other stuff for you to do. So I'm grateful. I love all of you all. Shimmy M. Het Tapu.